The conservative outlet, The Daily Wire, has severed their ties with right-wing commentator Candace Owens. CEO Jeremy Boring, yes, that's his real name, announced on X that Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship. I'm pretty sure that's not a good or mutual breakup, or maybe it is. Maybe it's mutual at least, but definitely not good, because this takes place months after infighting between her and co-founder Ben Shapiro over the issue of Gaza. Now, here's the thing. There's a little bit of nuance in this. Owens had started out criticizing Israel's military operations in that area, which, by the way, is totally fine and reasonable, right, to criticize that, because it's been numerous amounts of civilian deaths, innocent people, gunned down, journalists gunned down, bombed, all that stuff. So that's totally fine. Candace Owens then went straight down the anti-Semitic rabbit hole and began talking about weirdo stuff like sinister political Jews running Hollywood and Washington, D.C. That's not all. She, again, not only did she use one of the oldest anti-Semitic conspiracy theories out there, the puppet master, right? But then she liked a post on X that promoted blood libel. Whoa! That post claimed that Jewish people drink Christian blood as a part of their certain religious ceremonies. So Candace Owens went from having a somewhat reasonable position criticizing the Israeli military, right? Part of the Israeli government, which is super right-wing, of, hey, don't bomb innocent Palestinian civilians, and then went full puppet master blood libel insanity. And that is how pipelines work, okay? This happens on the right wing. Somehow everything ends up with the, puppet master and blood libel conspiracy theories. I don't know why. It just, everything boils down to it for some reason. Now, when you go there, and you don't want to go there, but she did anyway, you start getting the attention of white supremacists like Nick Fuentes, who begin to praise Candace Owens. I'd say that, hey, look, if Nick Fuentes is saying you are based and that he agrees with what you're saying, you might want to do some self-reflection, some introspection, and be like, where did I go wrong? What happened? But honestly, the people who get to that point, when you're already there, you're too far gone, okay? You're just too far gone. Even for the Daily Wire, which is like free speech, we're the free speech outlet, except that, oh my God, oh no. If the same thing happened to the Daily Wire when it came to Candace Owens, that happened on pretty much every so-called free speech platform that, spun out of Twitter before it became X. I mean, you had these, conservative outlet Twitter clones, essentially, and I forget all the names. There's so many of them, like Yitter and True Social, all that stuff. They usually end up doing some moderation practices because the people that they attract to these so-called free speech outlets, what do? Non-stop anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and violent rhetoric. That's what happens, and they're like, oh dear God, we're going to have to moderate that. Oh no, no. Okay, pull the plug. We're going to have to do some moderation. It turns out when you allow certain people to have quote unquote free speech, they do this. And it happens every single time. Okay? Every single time. Now, the Daily Wire had previously insisted that Candace Owens, look, she's just paid to give her opinion, okay? And we're going to let her do that until her opinion violates the law or the terms of her contract. Okay? As long as she doesn't do any of those things, she'll be welcome at the Daily Wire. And then, well, we have found the line that the Daily Wire is like, ooh, nope, we're going to have to shut that one down. Now, look, I've got no love for Candace Owens, no love for Ben Shapiro or the Daily Wire, okay? A lot of their takes, especially, Daily Wire's takes, Ben Shapiro's takes on Israel, Gaza, are just absolutely abhorrent. horrible, cheering on the deaths of innocent people. It's like, oh, there are no, these little children are Hamas. Like, get out of here, dude. Cheering on war crimes with U.S. taxpayer money. That's horrifying. Having a problem with that, by the way, is not anti-Semitic. Why are we funding an ethnic cleansing campaign in Gaza, our tax money, when we could have healthcare here? And by the way, recently, a video has gone viral on social media showing a drone strike that was used in Gaza to kill unarmed teens, okay, young men. These young people were struck multiple times, even after stumbling and crawling away. They didn't have weapons, okay? According to Tariq Kaneshawah, al-Shakaba's U.S. policy fellow, this is among the worst footage he's seen, and I'll link that in the description because I don't want to show it here because it's just violent and horrifying. He said there's no way they could have been considered combatants. This is unreal. And so this is what the right-wing government of Israel is doing, okay? And if you criticize the right-wing government of Israel for doing war crimes, that's totally fine. And not only is it totally fine, I think it's necessary because these are human beings whose rights have been violated. And lives have been, in some cases, lives have been taken. But at the same time, you can criticize the right-wing government of Israel and the decisions that they've made and their conduct in the war in Gaza without having to resort to puppet master conspiracies and blood libel. Okay? For one, those things aren't true. And secondly, it's insane. And you completely invalidate the cause that you claim to believe in, which is protecting Palestinian lives, as well as should be, protecting Israeli lives as well. Because I think, I don't know, call me crazy, but I think all human beings should have a right to peacefully exist. I know, crazy, insane. I must be one of those pink-haired communists for just having that opinion. But anyway, I don't know if Candace Owens truly believes this or if this is part of Candace's grift. I mean, immediately after the announcement, she responded by declaring that she was finally free and started soliciting donations. But basically what she has done over the past few months is become more and more like Kanye. And so, I mean, that's not a direction that you should want to go in, okay? But, I mean, seeing her ask for money for donations after this, for me, it screams grift. It's almost like her saying, hey, my new white supremacist friends, give me money. Maybe your hatred of the Jews will override your hatred of me being a black woman. Please send me money. I don't know if that's the case. If it is, fascinating play, right? Very interesting. I don't know if it's going to work. But if it's not a play and she actually truly has bought into massive anti-Semitism, blood libel conspiracy theories, all I got to say about that is, yikes.